I know that you developed the concept of the bands that you touch here. So I would like, and we'll put image as we speak for people to see, at least once to see it in video. So I create the 7 bands, and each band has a beautiful iconography, a series of actually even fashion that you create in different areas. And each of them symbolizes an emotion, and you create a framework. And this framework actually, I've been thinking since, of course, I met you, I've been thinking more and more about this framework because it's very special and not easy because, of course, like you said, if you are in technology, if you are in business, you have to be tough. You have to compete, you have to find solutions, you have to get things on time, and you have different personalities, different creative methods, different methodologies, different project management. So this creates, in some cases, very competitive and toxic elements. But at the same time, of course, is the way we manage these emotions, the way we take this, because of course there's the stress of business, there's the failure if you don't achieve the KPIs of the business, or sometimes you fail completely with the business. So how do you juggle all these different challenges? And if you can as well highlight the bundles and as well the framework you created around the emotional, the animals, and different parts that you put together, which is a wonderful storytelling, but really helps people.
When I decided I was going to go down this path, I had already, being in fashion, and like I said, fashion touches so many different industries, and technology is a very big part of it. When I think and when I develop something, even when it's a product in a fashion brand, I think about what is this going to be or look like in 5 years, and how is it going to evolve and still live in 10 years' time. Best places to communicate emotions where people are not thinking about the struggles you have, the politics, the religion, the culture. You're all one because your goal and your focus is the one thing, the music or the sport. My idea was really to leverage those areas where people congregate to express the real emotions that you feel, not just the emotion for the sport, but as an individual, how can you share and have eye contact in a very neutral space? So everything we've done, like I mentioned earlier, in mental health is one-on-one. You work with your counselor, you work with your therapist, you go to conferences, you go to talks, you be inspired, and you walk away, you meditate, and then you walk away, and you get into a very hectic life. How do we manage that, and how do we balance that? That is the basis of the Band Bond initiative. I wanted to take it outside of the one-on-one therapy that we were having with people and actually be able to communicate with each other. I needed it to be simple, and because of the different parts of the world I've lived and different cultures I'm involved in, I'm always thinking about how is this culture going to adapt to it? How is a religion going to look at it? And the very simple and most impactful aspect of this is the emotions that every human being feels. Of those 7 emotions, and adapting the color that represents that emotion to the word. And when I talk about these 7 emotions, they're actually 7 tools. They're parts of the body where you hold certain emotions, taking that word and putting it, adapting a color to it, and then that becomes the tool. Now, once we had these and had the idea for that, it went into how does this become something that I can look at somebody without having to speak to them, communicate how I'm feeling. So we put it into bands, and 7 colors, 7 words. 7 is a magical number. It appears in every culture, every religion, 7 days of the week, 7 colors of the rainbow. That was the most easy way to communicate what we were doing, in addition to the fact that these actually connect to emotions in the body. Now, the human brain has, or the human being has, about 27, 29 emotions. How do we take those emotions and give you one tool out of the 7 that you feel to be able to work with it? And that is what our program is about. I think what is the most powerful aspect of the program is that through the bands and through wearing a band, we talk about it as one day at a time. Through wearing the band, you're being aware of what you want to accomplish. You're being aware of the emotion you're feeling. So you have the courage to wear the band, to express the emotion. But what that also helps you do is focus on what you need to accomplish. When I'm wearing a band, I'm thinking about, what does my day have in store for me? I have a meeting to go to. I want to make sure I eat healthy today. I need to go to the gym. I can pick a band for each one of those tasks that I have to complete. But having this on my hand is also a reflection of the fact that I need to accomplish this, and that's my focus. I can have a reminder on my phone, but this is more visual for people looking at me. And we say practice this in community, because when it is practiced in community, you are able to express to someone else in an unspoken way, in a visual form, that this is how I'm feeling. And you understand the emotions they're going through by the bands they're wearing. So it seems so simple, but there's depth and impact to it. Impact for you, but impact also impacts the people around you. It's how do the people communicate with you without words and understand and are able to reach out and help if that's needed. So it's, we are not just emotional intelligence for yourself, but it's an emotional intelligence program that connects communities. And the way we've started to do this, we started with universities, a couple of schools in the States, in the United States. I presented this, of course, after we were nominated in Italy. So I realized Europe was open to it. Then I had the opportunity to go with the largest equality platform in the world to the G20, and had an opportunity to present it in India, where this originated from. And I found that they were ready to embrace it. And mental health is a very taboo topic in some parts of the world, and India is one of them. But giving them an opportunity to express it in a positive way was a different approach, teaching them that it is okay to be able to speak about something. And sometimes when you don't want to speak about something, there's a visual tool for you to be able to express it. So this is how I realized that different cultures were ready to embrace what we were doing. Bringing the art and music and fashion into it really brings people into your space of comfort, where we say that it's unintimidating, it's uninvasive, it's a space where you can express yourself through different mediums. And art is really rehabilitative, and we have the studies that show how art is needed for rehabilitation, but it is also a great medium to express yourself.